this video, we take you along as we visit Pueblo Mágico number 60, Lagos de Moreno, and number 61, Jalpa de Cánovas.
We are Georgia and David. In March of 2022, we quit our jobs to travel the world full-time. We are currently exploring Mexico, and our goal is to visit 100 Pueblos Mágicos. Today we've driven about an hour and 20 minutes to the Pueblo Mágico of Lagos de Moreno.
Lagos de Moreno is located in the state of Jalisco, and our first stop, as you can see here, is this gorgeous bridge, which is Puente de Lagos, and you can see have an amazing view of the Templo de la Luz behind us.
We made it to our first stop, which is the Ex Convento de las Capuchinas.
And if you see behind us here, it looks like they are setting up a stage for some kind of event or something, and the ex convento itself appears to be closed, but there is some super detailed and beautiful scrollwork on the outside, so we're going to check it out a little closer up.
So the Ex Convento was indeed closed. We were able to stop into the Casa de Cultura.
There was a very cool mural in the stairway, and in the Casa de Cultura also looked like they were setting up for an event. So our next stop is the main church as well as the main Zocalo.
Wow, I think that is the most impressive church we've seen in the Pueblo Mágico.
It's definitely the biggest we've seen in any Pueblo Mágico. And that's one thing we noticed walking around the city is everything is like perfectly manicured. There are multiple churches, multiple little squares and gardens. It's right up there with some of the prettiest cities we've seen, like Morelia and Zacatecas. It's super, super enjoyable to just walk around. But having walked around so much, I do think we have built up a bit of an appetite. So I think we're gonna get some food.
And a beer. So we decided to go to El Rincon for lunch, and we started out with a delicious queso fundido with chistorra.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I also got a clericot, David got a negro modelo, and then we both got the arrachera with chuetano, which is basically flank steak with bone marrow on top. It was very, very good. We definitely enjoyed our lunch. And now that we are fueled up, we are in front of El Museo de Arte Sacro, or the Museum of Sacred Art, which happens to be across from a gorgeous theater that maybe we can pop in. The door's open, so we'll see.
So we were able to pop into the theater, and it was very impressive.
Yeah, there was a huge mural on the ceiling, and all the seating was just gorgeous. It was super impressive, and that's the thing about this town so far. It has been so incredibly beautiful, and I don't know how many churches we've stopped
4 or
by.
5 at least.
All of them are beautiful, and we're getting ready to check out the one behind us now, and I already kind of peeked in there. There's a lot of gold work. It is gorgeous. And then maybe we'll get some ice cream, because that is one thing. We are having a heat wave right now. The highs have been 98 and 99 every single day, even though we're at right now like 6,000 feet of elevation. So I think we have a well-deserved ice cream in our future. Which is blackberry with cream cheese, and it is super delicious.
So that's super boring. Got the vanilla milkshake, which actually tastes like real vanilla. It's not that fake stuff you get back in the States.
Yeah, actually I think I see the little black pieces of vanilla bean. Yummy.
So our last stop of the day is Templo del Calvario.
This temple is up on a large hill overlooking the city. The view is fantastic, but I definitely recommend driving if you can, because the walk would be incredibly steep. The look of this temple kind of reminds me of the theater in the city of Guanajuato, where it has the little figures on the top of it. It looks really cool, and so we're gonna go inside and see if we can check it out. I do hear something in there, so I think they might be having a service, but we'll see what we can get. And then the letters are also out here, so we'll snap our little photo.
So on our way back to Aguascalientes, we stopped at Encarnación de Díaz.
One of our subscribers, William Woods, told us that back in the day, their main garden had just some amazing topiaries. Now it is still a very beautiful, well-manicured garden, but you can only kind of see some of the animal shapes. There are 2 churches here. However, one of them was having a funeral when we arrived. Well, actually, both of them were having a funeral when we arrived, but one of them did wrap up, so we got to go into the main parroquia, which was really, really impressive. And you can see behind us here is a giant bell.
Today we've driven a little under 2 hours to the Pueblo Mágico of Jalpa de Cánovas.
This Pueblo Mágico is located in the state of Guanajuato, and it is our last Pueblo Mágico for the state of Guanajuato. We have now officially visited them all. We tried to stop by the church first thing when we came in, but it does look like they're having some kind of celebration there. There are horses and mariachi and things.
Probably a wedding.
It's probably
Saturday.
a wedding. Could be a quinceañera. We couldn't quite tell, but I think we're going to grab some lunch, and then maybe that will be over, and we can maybe go in the church after. So this Pueblo Mágico is known for their pecan production as well as their membrillo production. Membrillo is essentially quince, which is kind of like a hard apple-pear cross. So in front of me now, I have their mole de nuez. So this is mole made with pecans as well as sesame seeds. And then David has the chicken membrillo.
So just finished up lunch. It was really good. The tamal was probably one of the best ones we've ever had.
I got the specialty of the pecan mole, and it was super, super good. It wasn't quite as good as the moles we had in Oaxaca, but it was definitely, I would say, the second best version of mole we've had outside Oaxaca. It had raisins in it, it had pecans, it had sesame seeds. It was just really complex. He said it was made with 5 different chilies. He did ask me if I was okay eating spicy stuff, and it was not spicy at all, so you're fine even if you don't like spice.
The pollo membrillo, which was kind of weird. It was a sweet chicken, which I like, chicken and waffles, sweet and savory. This just wasn't savory enough for the sweet. It was kind of weird.
I would compare it to maybe like pork chops with like a cinnamon applesauce, because the membrillo has a appley kind of taste, and then it had some cinnamon and maybe like some cream in it, but it was definitely pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it okay, but yeah, it's kind of like that chili en nogada. I think if you like that, then you might like the membrillo chicken as well. Right behind us now is the Casa de Cánovas, which is the original hacienda. That was kind of the start of the town. Our waiter actually sold us the tickets for the tour. They apparently do a tour about every hour and a half, and which was it, 60
pesos per person.
And it is a guided tour, so you can't go in and check it out on your own. But we're waiting for the tour to start in just a few minutes.
The tour is very detailed, and we went room by room. We learned that the original owner of the hacienda was friends with Porfirio Diaz, and because of that, they were one of the first haciendas to get electricity, and they were gifted 30 years of it for free. I guess it pays to have friends in high places. They remodeled some of the bedrooms, which are now bookable as a small boutique hotel. We just finished up our tour at Casa de Cánovas. It was very informative, but just note, it is all in Spanish. So If you don't speak Spanish, you might not want to do this. Also, she spoke very, very fast. It was hard for me to keep up.
Yeah, her Spanish was super fast. Usually when we do tours in Spanish now, I get like 100%. I probably got like 85% from her because she was just going a mile a minute. I did ask her at the end, though, why exactly this pueblo is a Pueblo Mágico, and it is for that hacienda and its rich history, as well as the neo-Gothic church that is behind us now. And it does appear that the festivities have wrapped up, so we should be able to go inside and check it out. And then the last thing it is a Pueblo Mágico for is for its lakes or presas or dams. It has an old one as well as a new one, but she did say that now, since there's not been any rain, the levels are really low and it is very dry. So maybe we'll make it out that way, but we're definitely making it into the church right now.
We did decide to head out towards the lake.
And on the way there are all of the pecan orchards. They are absolutely beautiful. But once we got to the lake, unfortunately, completely dry. Yeah, all of the little stalls and restaurants around the lake that would normally sell beer and food and snacks, they were all closed as well. So we've come back into town because there is just one thing left to do, and that is to grab our family photo in front of the letters.
Well, that's a wrap on Mexico's smallest Pueblo Mágico.
Thanks for watching. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please leave them down below. If you haven't already, check out last week's video, where we visit Pueblos Mágicos number 58 and 59, Calvillo and Nochistlan.